Good evening, everybody. Hello and welcome to the National Extension College virtual open evening. Lovely to see lots of you here tonight, and you'll see lots of us down the side of the screen. While we just wait a couple of minutes for those who are joining, you'll see a little QR code here, and that's to a poll we're going to be running through the evening. So if you scan that, it will take you to a website called Mentimeter. And there's a question to answer first. Just who are you? It'd be nice to know if you're a student, if you're a parent, guardian, or there's an other category. So pop yourself in that if you don't think you're a student and you don't think you're a parent or a guardian. And you've got some links there in the chat. So that will help you if the QR code isn't working. So I'll introduce who we all are. So I'm Esther Chesterman. I'm the CEO and Head of Centre of the National Extension College. And you've got some lovely bubbles there of all the different people who you can see down the side of the screen. So we're all here tonight to give you an overview of the National Extension College, who we are, and how we operate and what distance learning is and how we can support you or somebody you are supporting to reach their learning goals. So we'll give you an oversight of our learning model. You'll hear from some of our students and understand all the support we can offer. So who are we? Who is the National Extension College? Some important points there. So we are not for profit, we are a charity. And we are over 60 years old. We did celebrate our 60th birthday in 2023. And our founder is somebody called Sir Michael Young, and he was a British sociologist, a social reformer, and was really keen on ensuring there was an education model that was open for everyone. And we were set up as a pilot to the Open University, so something I hope a lot of you have heard of, an organisation you've heard of. And we still have a real good affinity with the Open University. And actually 2 of our trustees have connections with the OU as well. And we're really proud of our legacy. And hopefully that gives you the sense that we're a trusted pair of hands. We've been delivering high quality distance learning for over 6 decades. We are a college that's predominantly A-levels and GCSEs. And our students, well, we're so proud of them as well, particularly those who've overcome personal or learning challenges. Studying at a distance, it does require discipline, motivation, a lot of resilience, as all studying learning does. And our students, we know, consistently rise to that challenge. And you can see there on the graph our results that are growing, our pass rate's really growing. And more than that, we're supporting students whose starting point was perhaps lower than they'd hoped. And then we enable them to achieve their learning goal. I'd just like to take a pause. If you've got any questions throughout the session, please do type them in the comments box. But we've got a large Q&A section at the end. If you can write a Q and then a question mark in front of your question, we'll be able to find it throughout. Or just save your question till the end and you can type it in the box in the Q&A section. So what is distance learning? Are we an online school or college? No, not really. I think we're better than that. We're online self-study, tutor-supported distance learning. So that enables you to be the driver of your learning. You're able to study when, where you like, allowing you to plan your learning and the pace of your studies in a way that suits you. So it may be that you have a learning context at home. That means you can only study at certain times. It may be you don't really like timetables and learning at a set structure. You want that flexibility yourself. It may be you're working, traveling, and therefore you're looking for that flexibility. So online distance learning provides you with that. Here's 3 students' journeys, quite different students. So we have Toby, who was studying A-level English literature with us because he loved English literature and wanted to study that in his own time. Jill there in the middle, a mature student. Jill studied A-level history of art, just out of interest. She'd always enjoyed art. And then she now has a career in the art industry. And that comes from a background of accountancy. So a real change of career there. And then we have Andrew, a student who studied GCSEs and now studying A-levels with us. And Andrew's used the NEC as his whole learning journey. So our students come from very diverse backgrounds and study with us for many different reasons. If you're on the poll, I'd really love to hear what motivates you and your studying. You've got 3 questions there that you can answer, whether it's advancing your career, it's a personal interest or passion like Jill, or like Toby or Andrew, it's achieving qualifications for further education. So we also support those who need the flexibility of home education. But there's one common thread. Students consistently praise the quality of our course material and the dedication of their tutor support. And we'll talk more about our tutors later on. And that came up in a survey. It's one of the main reasons our students would recommend NEC to their friends. Next slide, you're actually going to hear one of our students talking about her experience with studying with NEC.
Studying with the NEC, my experience has been that I can hop on the computer when I'm, finished with work, when I've got some time over the weekends, in the evenings if I need to, and I can start to progress through it, the course at my own pace, which I really thoroughly enjoy doing. I feel like, I have access to a tutor. I can do my submissions online. It's very easy, the platform to use and get familiar with. So I have, confidently started navigating my way around how NEC works, and I feel like it is really working for me.
Get a little section from Gloria, one of our students. So there's a huge community around you when you're studying online. You've not only got the people that you have at home and in your own personal network, but you've got other people around you. So your course, because that's your delivery. You've got your fellow students, because we have a messaging learning forum that you can message and discuss things with other students. We have our exam and assessment support. We have your tutors, who we're going to talk about. Student support, who will give a little bit more details around their role in your learning journey, and then our pastoral support as well. So we ensure there's a supportive network surrounding you. And all of these people and these things are focused on helping you to achieve your goals. So we're going to explore these a little bit more in the next section. So these are the range of courses that we deliver. And again, on the poll, if you're interested in putting something in, we've got what sort of subjects you'd be interested in. So there's STEM, sciences, humanities, business. I see lots of you have been in the poll, so thank you for that. Really useful information, and it's nice to see that most of you look like you're with us tonight because you're wanting to further your education and looking to move on to further or higher education. So thank you. And it's equal split between STEM and humanities, which is interesting at the moment. So thank you for that. So we do work closely with a range of exam boards and different awarding organisations. And an important point is that we're approved by JCQ to facilitate exams. I'll talk a little bit more about that in the next few slides. We've got over 20,000 hours of learning materials. And as you see, across a really wide range of subjects. So we really feel confident that there's something to suit every interest and every career path. Humanities is winning at the moment, but that includes languages, history, literature, etc. But a good percentage of you are also interested.
Let's have a look around your
sciences. So this slide is a little video walkthrough of, it's taken from our Learner NEC site. This is the platform where the learning is delivered. It's a walkthrough that we would expect a student to look at as they join. And it signposts lots of other areas where they get support. Gives you a little flavour of how the course works, but as I said, it's aimed towards the student. But I'd really recommend you also looking on our YouTube channel, the National Extension College YouTube channel, because we have lots of video walkthroughs of different courses there that will help you. But this will just give you a little flavour.
And your course space and how to navigate important parts of your learning platform. This is your course main page. When you first logged in, you would have seen your dashboard, which you can always return to by clicking up here. You will find any other courses that you are enrolled on here, inside My Courses. Click on the contents icon on the left-hand side of the page to open or close the course contents. You can use the course contents list to move around inside your course. On the right-hand side, there is a block drawer that you can click to open or close. Here you can find useful information at a glance, including this completion progress tracker. Each of the course items will turn green when you have completed or interacted with them. The latest announcements from the course forum also appear here. When you have marked an item as completed or made an assignment submission, these items will turn green in your contents list. You can activate LearnerEDC's accessibility toolbar underneath your profile initials or image. You can use this toolbar to change things like font size and color scheme. The middle panel contains your main course content. We recommend hiding the contents list and the block drawer until you need them. This means that your course materials can fill your screen without any extra text to distract you. Your course companion will always be at the top of your course page because it contains information or resources that you will need to keep using throughout your studies. The course guide is located here, which is your go-to document for general information about your course, including the specification, the course structure, and any equipment that you'll need. The course companion also includes the course forums and your learning journal. Just above your course materials, you will see the About Assessment section. Inside here, you'll find details about the specific assessment requirements for your course, as well as a link to the NEC exams page, which contains everything you need to know about assessment, from exam centres to fees. Let's have a look at the course materials. Here is section 1. At the top is your introduction and progress checker. Make sure you read this information before you start working through the learning material for the section, as it tells you the learning outcomes, links to the exam board specification, how long this section might take, as well as the resources and equipment that you'll need. All the parts of the section are listed at the bottom. You can use this list to navigate to each item by clicking on the blue icon, and you can also tick off each item when you have completed it. Next, you can move on to each of the topics. These contain most of your learning material. We'll have a look at working through a topic in more detail later in the 5 steps to getting started. It is important to work through the sections and the topics in order. This is because the learning material has been developed so that each topic builds on the knowledge you gained in the previous topics. Underneath your topics, you will see an assignment submission activity. You'll be ready to do your assignment when you have studied all the topics in a section. Assignments are usually based on exam-style questions and are a great opportunity to get personalised feedback from your tutor. You can see the assignment instructions file and where to upload your submission. You will find more information about completing and submitting assignments later in the 5 steps to getting started. Every section ends with a feedback activity, where you can let us know what you think of the section you've just studied. When you're ready to tackle a new section, you can move backwards and forwards through the sections using the directional arrows here or here, or you can go back and use your contents panel.
There, so that's a little overview, as I said, as what we would share with a student at the beginning of their course. But if you really want to see how our courses work and the dynamic way the learning is delivered, do hop over to our YouTube channel. We're now going to hear from one of our tutors. Obviously, the tutor role, as you've already heard, is very important. I'll discuss that a little bit, but I'll let Colleen Young, who's our lead maths tutor, talk a little bit about her role and the types of students she sees studying with us.
Hello, I'm Colleen Young, NEC tutor. I first worked for NEC back in the 90s, in fact, and was delighted to return more recently. I'm now a tutor for mathematics. I'm privileged to teach a wonderful variety of students of all ages, perhaps young students who are home educated or older students who in fact may be still at school but perhaps studying an A-level that their school doesn't offer. So they might be doing some A-levels at school and another one with us. People also study by distance learning courses with us because they want a career change, so they need to study new subjects. It's that second chance which courses like this offer you. NEC courses, they do work really well, I find, because the courses, they're designed for distance learning, which means that you can study at a time and a pace that suits you. I was doing one of our masterclasses recently and had a discussion with a young student who says that she loves to sort of study what she wants, when she wants, and not be dictated to by bells. As well as the support of subject tutors, our students have the support of a whole pastoral team. So that's brilliant. I love the fact that we have a dedicated pastoral officer. A lot of my own students have actually used the pastoral support that NEC offers. As an organisation, it's really concerned with sort of well-being for all in the organisation, in fact, all the students and the staff as well. It's really rewarding to see my students develop mathematically and gain confidence in the subject. And it's great that, you know, we can help them be the best they can individually be. That's what's important. It may be that they've got that GCSE qualification that enables them to pursue whatever ambition they may have. It may be that they try to go to university. So, you know, and all is possible. It's that second chance I referred to earlier again. I'm really proud to work for this organisation that makes a difference to so many students. NEC strives to be the best it can be and thinks out future developments. So with that thought, here's to the next 60 years.
Thank you, Colleen. You can see there along the slides the different type of support that tutors offer. And we know that having a tutor you can contact via our messaging system, providing in-depth feedback across the assignments. It's a vital way of supporting you and helping you to be as prepared as possible for the final exam. So here's some pictures of some of our tutors, not all of them at all. They're qualified teachers, DBS checked, and are skilled in not only their subject, but also in delivering distance learning. And we're lucky to have our tutors with us tonight, Claire Shields and Usha Dia, who are also STEM ambassadors, and they work closely with NEC to support students who are studying STEM subjects. And they're also going to be with us for the Q&A, so please do post any questions you may have in the chat, and we'll be able to answer those in the Q&A session. And Colleen there mentioned the many ways NEC can support students, and that's all students, as she said. So it goes beyond the academics. We have a help hub on our learning platform, which provides 24/7 access to answers. It's got an FAQ section that's searchable. So if in the middle of night you're studying, you could hopefully find an answer that you need then. And then we have our student support team led by Alison Edwards, who's also here tonight. And they're there to ensure every student has the guidance they need. So please do think of any questions you might have for Alison as well. And if there's any enrolled students with us in the open evening tonight, please do have a look at the NEC Learning Link newsletter that's sent every week. It has details regarding upcoming events, such as the masterclasses that Colleen also mentioned, as well as key dates for non-examined assessments, NEAs, which are part of some of the exams, and also dates around exam application. So we ensure that students, parents and guardians are kept up to date with all the key information they need. And you can see there some of the other services that we offer. We talked about progression. Whatever a student's path is, whether it's progressing on to further or higher education, or whether it's to look for a change in career. We're also experienced in supporting students progressing to university. And Kirsten Butler's here tonight, part of the student support team, who leads on this area. Busy time at the moment for Kirsten, if you know anything about the UCAS deadlines. And to note, again, for current students, we have a masterclass in writing personal statements coming up in November. So do look on the Help Hub to find out how to book those. But if you have a question around progression, particularly UCAS or further for higher education, please do put that in the chat or save it for the Q&A section. Here's a group of different progression routes, destinations that our students have completed, and this was from our last cohort. I always feel really proud sharing these, but I think what we don't often share enough, obviously, is the more individual personal journeys of people who, you know, perhaps haven't got to university, but the step in actually gaining a qualification has been a huge one for them. But these are inspiring. There's some amazing destinations there. Obviously, Oxbridge is one of them. And then we have some really interesting different courses as well, such as paleontology, lots of medicine, some marine biology. So really inspiring that our students can study with us and then move on to follow their dream studies at university. But as I've said, and Colleen has also mentioned, success isn't just about mastering the course material. It comes with understanding yourself, developing effective study strategies, and maintaining your own well-being, putting that as a priority. And we're really proud of our track record in helping students who've perhaps struggled in the past to thrive through personalised support and flexible learning design. We do acknowledge that distance learning isn't for everyone, but for many, it's a way of learning which removes areas of anxiety, allowing a student to focus on learning at their own pace and in their own way. So here you can read about our pastoral support and our free Wellbeing for Learning programme that all students have access to. And this is led by Karen Nash, who again is with us tonight, who is our pastoral officer, and she's supported by our pastoral coordinator and then pastoral tutors. So there's a real team around our students, and students can access that service if they just need a little bit of support with perhaps planning their studies or ensuring that they have the right strategies to overcome some of their personal challenges, whatever they may be. We've talked a little bit about inclusive design, and it's something we're really passionate about. We have an accessibility policy, and we design our learning to ensure that it is inclusive, so that those with any different type of neurodiverse needs can actually access the learning in a way that supports them. So by designing our courses with accessibility in mind, we ensure that the student has the support to succeed. And we're really pleased that we've had that commitment recognised by the Learning Technologies Awards, which is a global technology award organisation. And we've been shortlisted for the category Excellence in the Design of Learning Content. Really proud around that. So it's a real theme through what we do. So from our course design to the way our pastoral team support, and ensuring that our tutors are trained in how to deliver accessible learning through their feedback and through any live sessions that they deliver. So if you're studying GCSE or A-level with us, the exam booking aspect is obviously an important aspect of your studies. So we have an expert team. We have Louise Tolhurst, our Head of Examinations and Assessment, with us this evening as well. We work closely with our trusted exam partners and provide access to a wide network of exam venues. And we hope to ensure that there is a smooth and stress-free process for you. Our dedicated exam teams committed to delivering a seamless service so you can focus on performing your best on the day and not worry so much about the exam. We are JCQ approved, which I noted. So that means we can manage all aspects of the non-examined assessment for those subjects where it applies. And that gives you confidence that we are ensuring full compliance with internal policies from that external scrutiny that JCQ provides, really giving you a peace of mind around that aspect of our service. Additionally, we do have extensive knowledge in managing access arrangements. These are things such as extra time, readers, or other support for students who have specific needs. Our expertise ensures that the required arrangements are in place, allowing you to focus on excelling in your exams. So any questions around access arrangements, please do pop in the chat. And to ensure you have all the resources you need to succeed, we've collaborated with a wide range of organisations to support your broader learning goals. So we have a Boost Your Learning module on our learning platform, Learn at NEC, and this guides students through our supercurricular activities. An example of that is our partner Medic Mentors, who offer virtual medical conferences for students interested in pursuing a career in medicine or any of the allied sciences. So it's really important for students who are looking to progress, move on to further or higher education, to have a broader range of activities to put onto their CV or their personal statement. And that module on Learn at NEC provides information on how we support that. And for students who are under 18, or for those who are requiring additional support from a parent or guardian, we believe the crucial aspect of this is working as a team. So we have a parent portal, which parents need to log into, and that provides them with some information about how the student is progressing. So it gives them their assignment grades. But it also means the parent and guardian will receive all the information that we post to students regarding key dates, additional services, and anything that's coming up that will be really useful for the student to attend or to be aware of. So that should keep the parent guardian involved and informed, and allowing you to actively support your child or young person's journey, because that teamwork is really crucial. So it gives you access to that information. And last year we did carry out a parent survey, which was quite a full one actually. It'd be interesting to know if you're on the poll still, if you're still there, what sort of learning style you like. So what sort of learning environment would you prefer? The aspects that came back from, that's great, thank you. So we've got half and half. So flexibility to study at your own pace at the moment, ability to balance study with other commitments, access to tutor support has really gone up there to the top. So thank you for that. It's really useful information for us. So we conducted an extensive survey, and here's a summary, some of the feedback we see from parents, and they highlighted several key benefits. So flexibility, which we know, we've got that built into our learning design, a focused learning environment. I think for parents, that was really, no distractions, just looking through the course material, working through the activities, tracking your own progress. personalised one-to-one support. So the tutor is there to answer questions, but more importantly, to provide personalised feedback to the assignments so that you really get an understanding of where you are on the journey towards the final exam. An important aspect for a lot of students, particularly under 18 who study with us, is a reduction in social pressures. And we acknowledge that, and that again is why our pastoral support is there as well. Specialised subjects, we have a huge range of subjects. Some students study 1 or 2 with us if they're studying some at school, or they come to us because we have that range that perhaps might not be able to fit into a curriculum or a standard education delivery. So you can build your own curriculum, which for some students is really important to move forward with the studies and the subjects they're really interested in. And that encouragement of independence and responsibility, that's something that we often find when we're putting information forward for students on our UCAS applications, that we can really confidently say the student can study independently. They know how to study in an autonomous environment and they take ownership of their own study. Superb learning for when people move on to further or higher education or moving into a career where they are needing to be independent and resilient. So lots of other skills that students learn and that parents acknowledge are really vital and useful for students who perhaps traditional education isn't working. So I hope that has been interesting and useful. We're now at the question and answer section of our delivery and of our open evening. So if you have got any questions, please do pop them in the chat. But we've had some sent in from students in advance. So I'll start off with those. So hopefully we can have all the rest of the panel back into the session. Hello, I can see you all now. Hopefully you can all hear me. So we'll start off in no particular order, more in just what's popped up in my box. So Karen, what support can we provide for students with additional needs? And just a reminder that Karen Nash, you're our pastoral officer, so have spoken many times to many students with additional needs.
Hello. So if students have additional needs, then they can have 3 calls with me throughout the course of their studies. And they can either be a phone call or a video call, depending on what makes them feel comfortable, because it's really important to me that students feel comfortable when we're having a conversation. We can have video calls and students can have their videos off if they don't want to, and they can just see me if they want to see me. We also have, I provide 6 Wellbeing for Learning sessions. And again, everything that I do is very geared towards students with all different needs. I'm a qualified teacher and I do understand the differing needs of students. And also we send out check-in emails every couple of months to check everyone's okay, because sometimes it can be hard for a student to actually reach out. So I make sure that we check in every couple of months as well. Yeah, I think that's kind of the main things that we do.
Thank you very much, Karen. While you've been talking, we've had a couple of questions in. Thank you, Mariam. So question around the resources. So the resources are a mixture. There's reading, as there would be with any A-level or GCSE. There's some video content, there's podcasts, there's activities that you do online, such as knowledge checks, quizzes, and then there's things that you can do offline. You can, obviously do your assignment. So it's a real mixture. So we try to ensure that that every learning style is accommodated in our course material. And then we have another question. Would it be possible to start A-levels over the summer holidays? Yes, we are rolling enrolment. So for our standard A-levels and GCSEs and all our other courses, enrolment is at any time of the year. You need to obviously be aware of which exam you're going to be heading for, and also if it has an NEA, because they have specific deadlines that exam boards require and deadlines that we require as well. And if you're looking to progress to university and use UCAS and our UCAS service, there's specific deadlines there as well. So, but yes, it is possible to start your A-level over the summer holidays. And that answers Mariam as well. Yes, you can enrol at any time. There's an NEA question here, so that's probably one for Louise, I think, if that's okay.
Yeah, so there's no problem if you don't want to use one of our exam centres. So in order for us to deal with all elements of the NEA, so the coursework, we would need to be the entering centre. So what would happen is that you would apply the different application form for this. You'd apply, we would make the entry, we would deal with all elements of the coursework, and then we would complete a transferred candidate application to allow you to sit your exam, sit the written papers at a centre of your choice. And all it really means is that NEC will remain your entering centre, so results will come from NEC, but you do have the option to sit at a local centre or another centre of your choice.
Thank you. And we really advise, thanks a lot, Lou, we really advise people that when they enrol to just really read that information on our Learn at NEC platform. The exams team put together a huge amount of information there, and then drop them an email, because they're always really, really happy to help, and good to know if there's any issues you have early on. Rachel, you've asked a question about paper copies. Some of our courses we can provide as paper copies. We'll get in contact with you about the childcare courses, because some of those have now moved on. We don't have them anymore because some of them have changed. But yes, in theory, we can provide paper copies, some of our courses. So that's a specific question based on different courses. Thank you, Rachel. How do you get in contact with other students? Ali, do you want to talk a bit about the forums and how they work?
Yeah, sure. So
Thank
every
you.
course has its own course forum, and all students have access to those, and we encourage students to use them because it is a really good way of interacting with your learning peers. And not only that, the tutors also monitor them. They are answering questions on them. So if you've got a question, if you put it in the forum, you might find that some of your peer students have had the same question and they've had an answer, or they've worked it out. Or a tutor, it might be your tutor, it might be the lead tutor, it might be another tutor, will drop in and give you a bit of help and support with the questions you're asking. And also it's just nice sometimes to encourage each other. How are you doing? How are you getting on? And just to be there, out in the great virtual environment.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure who wants to pick this one. Oh, okay, Stephen, yes, hi. How many students have you had in recent years doing classical civilization? Gosh, I wouldn't be able to answer that off the top of my head. It's quite a popular course, isn't it?
It's growing.
Yeah. We work really closely with the Classical Association. We did a webinar recently with them, and they are one of our partners. We actually sponsored one of the Classical Civilization teachers at their awards. So it's an important course for us, and it is quite a high enroller. I wouldn't be able to give you the data straight off the bat there, Stephen, so sorry about that, but we've got your email, so we can send you some further information on that. But we work very closely with Classical Civilization. Our tutors, often when we need specific tutors for things, they come from that organisation. And it's a great course, really interesting one, and one that's popular due to not many schools providing it, actually. So an interesting one. Will, you've got a question there. What support processes systems kick in if a student is really struggling with their course? I don't know who would want to answer that. Anybody want to put their hand up? Because it crosses quite a lot of different areas, really, I think, doesn't it? And all this team that we have around a student.
I mean, I can start. I think
Thanks,
Karen
Ali.
can probably. So if a student's really struggling and thinking, this is really getting a bit hard, and I know I've got exams coming up, or I know I've got an NEA deadline coming up, then the first thing we would suggest, I think, is that they contact student support. So you can do that. We're there Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and we pick up emails all day. You can also contact your tutor by messaging on Learn at NEC, but often it might feel better to contact student support in the first instance. We can then refer you to Karen and her lovely pastoral tutors, and they may be able to sort of get in touch with you and offer some hints and tips on how to remotivate yourself, or just help you re-engage and encourage you to get going again. So we are there, and we do encourage students to let us know. We'd rather hear from you sooner rather than think that you're out there struggling on your own.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. And Karen, you talked earlier about the pastoral service as well, didn't you? So that can kick in as well at that point. I've noted a couple more questions, but I'm just going to go to some that came in earlier. So one for one of our STEM ambassadors, perhaps Claire. Is it possible to study a practical subject like science online?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you think about practical science subjects, there's different elements of kind of, what we consider practical. So in terms of actually doing the hands-on experiments, we have written into our courses kind of ways that you can do that with equipment that you may have at home. We also, though, we take that broader view of what is practical science. So particularly in the exam subjects, practical skills are things like designing an experiment. They're things like analysing results. They're things like drawing graphs from data. And all of that is skills that your tutor will work really closely with you on, because that's often where you are examined on the practical elements. We have many students who also do the practical endorsement with us as well, and that they get help to organise that. So yeah, absolutely. I'm obviously going to say yes, you can, because I teach practical subjects online. But yes, I think it is a worry that a lot of people do have, but we definitely have ways of doing that.
Thank you very much. And just before we move back to the questions, Usha, another one of our tutors, one of the questions we had, do you have to have a GCSE in a particular science to study it at A level?
Hi, everybody. Not at all. The beauty of this is, and we've said it so many times, the beauty of this kind of learning is that you're in charge. And if you decide that you want to do biology A level, chemistry A level, you are able to go straight to the A level course. We would say that having a GCSE is a good foundation. There's no doubt about that. So if you've studied the sciences at GCSE, it's good foundation knowledge, but it's not necessary. So if you're a returner, if you're a career changer, at that point in time and you've decided perhaps you want to go into a healthcare profession and you need an A level in a science, then yes, I would say absolutely go for it. It's about the commitment more than anything else. It's about you being enthusiastic about your studies, but no barriers at all.
Thank you, Usha. Thank you very much. We'll go back to the questions that we've just had in. Mariam, we'll send you some information on average grades and pass rates. Some of that is on our website. But if you've registered through Eventbrite, we will have your email address, and one of our course advice team will be able to send you specific information. One for our UCAS team. So, Team Kirsten. Hi, that was a good one that they just put up, and I've lost it now. So it was about UCAS predicted grades, I think, wasn't it? Yay, thank you.
Yes. So yes, we are able to provide predicted grades. What we do ask is that students submit a certain number of assignments so that their tutors have enough evidence to base a predicted grade upon. But once they've done that, they can send a request form in to us for that service, and we're able to do that. We can either add it directly to their UCAS application if they're using us as their UCAS centre, or if they're using a different referee, then we can forward that information on to their referee.
Thank you very much. And just as Kirsten has said, we do have a UCAS service. So again, if you enrol with us, all that information is on the platform, in our Learn at NEC platform, and there's a dedicated UCAS email address that you can communicate with the team there. Will, agonising over classics versus history. Tricky one. I don't know whether anybody has any insight into those subject areas. And noting that you're a mature student, anybody has a classics information that they might want to share with Will around that choice?
I was going to say do both, but that's obviously not the case here.
No, our course advice team would be able to help you with this, Will, but Ali's going to say something there.
No, I was just going to say,
help you along your way.
I was just going to say that I know that we have had a certain number of older, more mature students doing classical civilization. It's not always the case, but we have some really good tutors on that course. I mean, personally, I do classical civilization, but that's me. Yeah,
I would as well. I've just walked through Italy, and I'd be like, oh, I'd love to learn a little bit more about.
Yeah.
So
Can I hop in with some advice?
Please
I'd say look at the content, because the content's on the website, and think about which you're most interested in, and then think about what you want, what your next step is, which one's most relevant to that.
Thank you very much, Karen. That's lovely. I don't know the full masterclass timetable. Is there an A-level physics one? Does anybody know that off the top of their head?
I'm not sure if there is, if I'm honest. I haven't got it in front of me at the moment.
We will look into that for you, Lois. We've got a very full masterclass calendar, but it may be you've seen a gap. So we'll make sure that we have a look at that for you and get in contact with you. It may be there's one coming up and it's not on the calendar yet. So thank you very much. Mariam, is that a further question around the UCAS aspect, around using AS achieved grades? Is that correct? So if somebody's already achieved an AS, would that work from our perspective, Kirsten?
We can certainly take into account prior attainment, but we would always recommend also, completing the required assignments for the subject. It just means that our tutors have that much more evidence when providing that predicted grade.
Super, thank you very much. So I think we've nearly come to the end of our questions. I wonder if there's any last things from anybody to say before we wrap up for this evening. Thank you all for your engagement. Thank you for the team for joining us tonight. This will be available on YouTube, on our YouTube channel after the session. So if there's anything you want to go back over or you want to share it with somebody you know, then you can just use the link and then pass it on to people if you would like, or just look back about the information. There's lots of information on the slides, so hopefully you'll have an opportunity to look through it again. And thank you all for joining us this evening.